First up business.
Yeah, y'all.
You locking this shit.
First of business, baby.
What up, good people? It's Cato Kelly back on a Friday with First the Business podcast. And today I have my homeboy, hip hop artist, Kul Ray, spelled Kul, meaning keep up lames, in the building. And also we got my man Italy. So, Kul Ray, what's good with you, dog? It's good to see you, man. It's been a long time, man.
Friday's payday, so we living it up. You know
That's
what
it is, yo. We've been talking about you.
We be broke by Wednesday, but hey, we gonna live it up in the meantime, right?
So if I get paid on Friday, I'm broke on Friday. Because look, all the bills
I don't have
come
8
through.
kids. He said I had 8 kids. I don't have 8 kids, so I still got money on Wednesday. I don't know about Thursday. I can't make no promises.
I see, that's one thing that you're lucky on, you know what I'm saying? And Italy's the same way. You don't have the kids,
You got to define love. You got to define love, because I would love to have family. I would love to have kids.
And I know you would.
I'm from a big family. I love family. I love kids. I love all that.
And I know you would spoil your kids if you had them.
Oh man, I might would. I don't know. We'll talk about it. Depends on how they behave, if they listen.
Hey, but it's good to have you on the show tonight, man. And tonight I want to, you know what I'm saying, I want to let the people know and learn more about Kul Ray tonight.
Okay,
you know what I'm saying? Because you've been with me for a long time. You know what I'm saying? Like, you've been coming around.
Since I was
you've been
whack.
on the label. Dog, when you first got started, I think you was like 16, 17?
Like 15, probably.
15, yeah.
15, yeah.
And you was coming through and you was doing your thing. And you finally, one day, people started noticing you because people, I'm going to tell y'all this right here. This man right here, I would put money up on him. If any artists out there right now want to do a real hip-hop freestyle battle. And when I say real hip-hop freestyle battle, I'm talking about it's not written. Nigga, we spitting. You know what I'm saying? I will put my money up for that. Nobody can beat this man. And I'm just going to throw that out there. Even my brother Giz, you know what I'm saying? Giz is nasty, but I don't know if he can run and has the stamina to last as long as this man right here. Yo, this man is a beast. And this man can make songs that are hot. You know what I'm saying? And we're going to play some of them at the end of the show, or you could check him out on firstofbusiness.com under the artist section, Kul Ray. But, dog, I'm telling you.
I appreciate that. It goes a long way, man.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, to any artist out there, I would start with, when you first start making music, everybody else's opinions and views and stuff are going to weigh really heavily.
Right.
On what you think you should do or what the norm is, what the trend is. And I will say, when you begin making music, you've got to break that, because I've always used this cliche statement, but you can't be a starving artist if you're not starving.
Right.
You can't be a fighter if you ain't fighting. You know what I'm saying? You can't, like my boy B, that's my brother B. You can't come from the bottom unless you came from the bottom.
Right.
And that doesn't just mean Troy. I'm not sleeping on nobody else. You know, a lot of my people's from Cleveland, Youngstown, Conneaut, Erie, Pittsburgh. Got boys from Charlotte, Greensboro, Durham, Columbia, Tennessee, Grenada. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I dig it. But if you ain't from the bottom, you can't come from the bottom. So to begin with in your music, you've got to break away from that shell of trying to be like everybody else and then just be commercial. But then once you find who you are, that's when things change. Like we were talking about this earlier tonight before we got started, was I will tell every artist out there, you got to remember, you a salesman. You selling yourself, you selling your music, you selling a product. So when you're selling a product, who are you selling that product to? There's nothing wrong with it. If you want to make music for yourself for the rest of your life, just understand Pablo Picasso did die unknown, but there's 100,000 other painters out there that nobody ever heard of, that ain't never bought their painting, that did the same thing as Pablo Picasso. If you want to take that gamble, perfectly fine, man.
Right.
And I respect it. I love it. I respect it.
See, that's what I was telling people about you. I tell people all the time about you, like, Kul is cool. You know what I'm saying? Like, he doesn't try to be anybody different. He doesn't try to, because a lot of white rappers that come out, you know what I'm saying, they try to act black or they try to be extremely hard for some reason. But you are you. You know what I'm saying? And there's no changing that. It's just you. The way you are, like right now, the way you are on your songs, the way you are, me and you somewhere on the highway riding, kicking, you're the same every time.
I try.
And that's what I like about you. You know what I'm saying? And like so where are you originally from?
Erie, Pennsylvania. I'm from Erie. Most people don't know it. It's actually a really big city. It's the third biggest city in Pennsylvania. I would say it's more like Cleveland than it is like Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
It's right there in the Midwest in that area of Lake Erie. A lot like Cleveland, Pontiac, Buffalo, old, tough steel towns, industrial towns. Honestly, when I grew up, they called Erie Brick City.
Brick City.
Brick City. So I'm not gonna get into the weeds on this, but a certain group of individuals, some of us called disciples, was really big in that area, and then you had some guys at Pyru's really big in that area.
So how long have you been in North Carolina?
I've been in North Carolina for going on 20 years now. Well,
okay.
Well, you remember when I left high school, I've lived all over the Southeast. So when I turned 18, I moved out of North Carolina. I've lived in Georgia, Florida, South Carolina, Tennessee, Mississippi, Alabama.
So you've been all around.
The Southeast, all over the Southeast.
Yeah.
And love Louisiana. Love Mississippi. Mississippi is one of my favorite places in the world. I don't know about y'all. Y'all been to Mississippi.
I've never been to Mississippi because, you know, I seen a movie called Mississippi Burning. Me and you wouldn't want to go there. You know what I'm saying?
Well, if you had ever been through northern Mississippi, like I wasn't seeing the women they had out there.
Oh, okay.
You might have wanted to roll through there.
Now, see, when you talk about women and when you talk about beer, it's a whole different story. But we would go into places that we really shouldn't go into. But we do what we do to do.
Some of the baddest sisters I ever seen was in
northern
Mississippi, dog. Woo.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying right there, man.
And I'm not just talking about looks. I'm talking about the kind of women they was. You know?
That's what I'm saying, yeah. So, like right now, you're talking about, speaking of women, you know, are you currently in a relationship with anybody?
No, I'm single at the moment. I've been grinding. Just got a position in my life, finally got stabilized. You know what I'm saying? Been working 2-3 jobs for the last...
For a long time.
4 or 5 years.
And we spoke about this on the last podcast.
This
nigga worked
last
like
4
he
or
got
5
8
years,
kids.
I've been grinding, man, getting to where I needed to be. Finally got to where I got one, in the near future, I'm going to have one stable job, just doing me. And honestly, everybody can say whatever they want to say about it. I'll probably get dissed on the track, but probably not dissed, but they'll probably say it privately because ain't nobody going to diss me on the track. But I will throw this out there. I'll probably catch some flack as far as me saying, I wanted to be considerate to women. I respect women. I love women. Me and Kay said we're going to get to Tupac later. But as far as there are multiple types of people out there, and when it comes to women especially, any woman that I'm going to lay my head beside or call my woman, I'm going to have a lot of respect for. With the kind of time and effort I was putting into my professional careers, it wasn't fair to them or me. It was something destined to fail. And for me, that wasn't fair to them or me. So I've just had to be, you know, a real patient dude as far as putting aside that, you know, because we was talking about kids earlier. Like, man, honestly, at 30, I said I'd have kids. I want to have kids one day.
Look, you've always been that way, man. You've always been very considerate. You've always respected women to the highest level. Let me think back. Have I ever really heard you call a lady a bitch on one of your songs? I don't think so. Like, you've been very respectful towards the women, you know what I'm saying? And I respect that.
Hey, when's my wife gonna get here?
And see, now he's talking about my daughter. And see, this dude been in love with my daughter for a long time.
Hey, she in love with me too. It's a two-way street. Don't let them lie to you.
And look, she's on the road right now. She's coming from
we love
Texas. She's either coming from Texas or South Carolina.
Fantastic. She is a magnificent woman. She is an example of. Cato did a great job. He raised a beautiful young woman. They're
good, but these kids are crazy as hell right now, though. But anyway, but like I'm saying though, like far as music wise though, like what current projects are you working on right now?
I got a few. I'm still working on the album.
We've been promoting the Graceful track.
Yeah. You know so we got some singles. We got some singles out there that we've been working on, but there's still an album behind the scenes.
Who were you speaking about in the Graceful song? Is it like any particular person?
Graceful, I'm glad you asked. Graceful was a good friend of mine. Laura, I've worked for her family for many years, great people. And her daughter had just turned 14.
Right.
Dealing with that transition between being a girl to a woman.
Uh-huh.
And she always talks to me about music. She's from a different kind of style of thought than me or you. You know what I'm saying? Doesn't really listen to hip hop music, but her daughter does. And her daughter, I'm not going to throw any of these guys under the bus, but had been listening to some rap. And And I think in a lot of ways we can say like the modern rap is not constructive to the culture that we want to provide for our children and the generation coming up, especially for young women. And
the young generation.
I'm just gonna say, and I'm gonna get right back to the point. But it's crazy that back in the '90s, Snoop Dogg and all them were put through congressional hearings and stuff. I think talking about the way they talked about women, like, and the way that they talk about women in music these days is just on a level I have never seen the way they treat women. And like even with Tupac and them, there were still empowering songs coming. Brenda's Got a Baby, you know, Dear Mama, you know what I'm saying? Even at their worst, when you talk about Gin and Juice or Gangsta Party and stuff, they weren't even talking about women on this level, but she was feeling that kind of feeling. And she was like, I wish somebody or rappers would make a song for my daughter. And her name actually happens to be Grace. And that was kind of the inspiration around the idea of the song. And Cato will tell you, I called him. I set up with you, great producer. Yeah, used to be fantastic music guy. Used to be with Grand Hustle. Has done some work with Young Money and some other labels. Absolutely a muse, I would say, honestly, because he helped me bring the best out of myself. Speaking of music, Italy is another one, but the idea of Graceful, I wrote that song in 2 days. Mm-hmm. We practiced it. Honestly, and y'all can hate on me all you want. If I'm doing a studio track, I'm going to practice it. Like, that's what you're supposed to do. These football teams, you think like the New England Patriots show up on Sunday and ain't practice no plays this week, man? Like, let's be real. Yeah, you got to rehearse. We practiced that. We worked on that. That structure of a song is a classical hip hop song, but it was for a young lady going through that point in her life where she's becoming a woman. And I was just trying to make a positive message as far as be graceful. And her name being Grace played into that. But I think a lot of women need to remember that, because these decisions you make, for women, it's a little bit different. But in brothers, I would say the same thing, young man, you know, and when I say brother, I mean young man, you know what I'm saying? Because we all brothers. It's the same thing for you as it is for them. Graceful is just about as much for you as it is for them, because these decisions you make from the time you're 15 to you're 18, 19, you may not think it. They're impacting your life on a way that you cannot imagine. And I sound really old when I'm saying this, but at that risk, I'll back that up. But that's the God's honest truth. And I just, with Graceful, I wanted to make a song. And what I was hoping was through that song, hopefully one day it gets bigger than it is. And it will. To tell young women, respect yourself, be graceful, demand that you're treated graceful. And young men, go after women that are graceful. Go after women that respect themselves and carry themselves.
But see, now you speaking like a man of high knowledge right now. Like, what's your age right now? Just real quick.
Oh, man. Dirty 30.
Okay, you're 30 years old 30 years old. See, you are young compared to Italy. But I'm gonna tell you like, listen,
he taking shots. He taking shots.
Nah, I'm just saying he old head. You know what I'm saying?
We love it. He's refined. He was refined.
But we really respect. But I really personally respect the way that you carry yourself and the way that you respect others, and you expect for others to carry on as humans in this world right now. Like, I remember back in the days, I would look on social media, and I'm a type of person where I don't really like to speak publicly about politics, religion. I usually get at the bar with my homeboys and we sit and we talk about it, you know what I'm saying? But when you go public and you speaking about these subjects, it can get real, like, yo, I'm telling you, real touchy.
Yeah, quick.
And I right now, what would you classify yourself as? As an independent, Democrat, or Republican? Or none of the above?
An American.
Okay, you're an American.
I'm an American.
Now, before, I've seen posts about Republican.
I was a Republican. I used to be a Republican.
Hold on, now that's what we're going to go into right there, you know. Like, I spoke about, hold on. I spoke about Donald Trump I think it was the last podcast when we had BTR and Witty here. And
let's hit that one.
And
I'll pour him.
Yeah, he got to drink some tequila. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, because the last one was...
Look, he said Donald Trump, so I just wanted to support Mexico and drink some tequila. That's what I was thinking.
Okay, but see, I know back in the days, people really respected and loved this man's music right here, you know what I'm saying? But then he would go on Facebook and he would make posts and people would get mad about it and make phone calls to me and be like, yo, I can't fuck with him. And excuse my language, y'all, but I'm trying to change up the language thing, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. But it was like, I can't deal with him.
It was hard to stomach.
They couldn't deal with his point of views of it. But then he all of a sudden made a big change. You know what I'm saying? So what brought about the change in your life from the strong Republican views that you had to now?
This is gonna be a complicated subject, so go ahead and take a shot.
I just want to know what made you change the way you thought about different situations.
I'm gonna start with this.
What did you see as a Republican at the Republican meetings?
The Republican Party, I didn't leave the Republican Party. The Republican Party left me.
Yeah.
I believed in the concepts of Abraham Lincoln. Okay, so the idea of individual reliance, the idea of self-accountability, of small government, we can do this all night, but I'll just put it this way. The reason my change was so dramatic and so fast is because I hate to get super political, but all you got to do is look at the actions of Donald Trump. If you listen to right-leaning media, Fox News, all those guys, when Barack Obama was in office, in the middle of a recession, might I add, the worst recession and worst economic situation we have been in, that is indisputable. That is like in a world where facts don't exist. That
You're
is
saying while he was president, Obama was president?
No, yeah, that's indisputable. When Obama took over, the worst economic situation since the Great Depression was occurring. Nobody disputes that. Not Republicans, Democrats, nobody. That is one of the few things in this world with no facts right now that we live in that is a fact. He was ostracized and attacked consistently for the debt and the deficit. Mm-hmm. I guarantee you could watch Fox News for 24 hours today. I'll give you $100 bill if they mention the debt or the deficit. They will never mention the debt or the deficit. When Barack Obama left office, his last 3 years or 4 years, and matter of fact, the first 2 years where budgets already passed under the Bush administration with the stimulus bill, not even getting those weeds, but last 2-3 years, he had declined the deficit drastically.
Right.
Donald Trump took over. The deficit and the debt have been higher than they have ever been every day since he became president of the United States. That's one of the Republican cornerstones. And I'm just saying that to say this, that's why I left the party. And it's not just that. It's the equality. It's the individual accountability. It's Republicans. There used to be good men that were Republicans out there I used to watch that were good men that carried themselves as men.
Name one.
Rick Santorum's one. Breaks my heart to look at him today and what he does. Rudy Giuliani. I used to think that after 9/11, everybody loved Rudy. Now look at him. He looks like
we didn't love Rudy Giuliani.
Rudy Giuliani, though, carried himself like a man. Like before
9/11, though, Rudy Giuliani
stop and
frisk in New York, and he was very racist towards
the policing.
Policing and all that stuff. Like Rudy Giuliani is like somebody that I really couldn't respect.
Okay, fair enough.
And like, okay, you said that you did respect him at one time, though, right? After doing the 9/11.
9/11 thing.
Okay.
Well, I respected the way he carried himself.
I respect a lot of people doing the 9/11 situation because of the things that they did and the things that had to be done, and everybody just stopped worrying about this.
Let me ask you
small things that was going on between each other.
The late great John McCain.
I like John McCain. I always liked John McCain.
A lot of people forget John McCain when he was running against Barack Obama in 2008. Had a little lady walk up to him and call Barack Obama a terrorist and a Muslim. And what did he do?
No, he was actually in a meeting.
Yeah,
they was having
and what did he do?
Meeting.
He shut it down.
He shut it down because like he was a man of honor, really. And he served his country, and he not as just a congressman, but also as a military man. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. He was a prisoner of war, I believe.
And 5 years.
5 years.
The Hanoi Hilton.
Yeah. So
and he had offers to go home. They offered him to go home.
And I really get upset with Donald Trump when he tried to make fun of him.
And here is where they lost me
in the speech.
And that's why I brought up him. There was the thing that has kept me away from ever gravitating back is the basic principles of the Republican Party that used to exist, that were eroded, that they don't hold the same standard to themselves when they're in power and in charge. versus when somebody else is in charge. All these things.
Right, that's
when
true.
I grew up, I was a young man. I was 18 to 26 at that point. You know what I'm saying? All these I was told were the fundamental foundation of the Republican Party and what they believed in. And I looked and I was like, all right, that makes sense. The second they got power, everything that they said they stood for went out the window when they were in charge. But what broke me, that's what keeps me away, is how they let Donald Trump do whatever he wants.
Right.
But what broke me was when he went after John McCain the way he did and said he wasn't a hero because he was captured, and none of the only one, and this is the crazy thing, there are only two good Republicans in America right now, in my opinion, and that's John McCain and Mitt Romney. The two dudes who ran against Barack Obama are the two most honorable Republicans on the face of this planet.
Right.
Because the only Republican that has any courage to stand up Donald Trump right now is Mitt Romney.
Yeah, I
and
respect
before
Mitt
him, the
Romney a
only
little bit.
one was John McCain. And it's crazy to think about that the two dudes before him that ran for president are the only dudes.
Now look, though,
They should have animosity towards Obama. You get what I'm saying?
Exactly, but they don't, though, because
they're men of
like
honor.
I said, they're men of honor.
Yeah.
But my question to you is this right here, though. Like, this is something that I always wondered. Like, I know I'm a Mason, you know what I'm saying? I'm a Prince Hall Mason.
Okay.
And we have our meetings. And in our meetings, I'm going to go ahead and say, we don't talk about politics and stuff, you know what I'm saying? But we do handle business in the community, and we figure out how to help our community and our people in the community. But what I want to know is, what actually goes on in a Republican meeting? Like, say you got a Republican building set up for Albemarle, Montgomery County.
For the county level, generally what you're going to experience
Now, I don't want you to get in no trouble for this.
No,
I want you to get your
generally what
head
you're
knocked
going to
off.
experience is a very focused meeting to a focused endeavor. And by that, I don't mean to be too complex when I say it, but basically is you're going to have in any county Republican Party, even probably Democratic Party, I haven't been to many of those, is there is a certain group of people that are in power. So I will say this because they're not in power anymore. The Burrs in Stanley County used to be extremely powerful. Philip Burr ran the Stanley County Republican Party.
Yeah.
Justin Burr was the state representative.
Right.
He was good friends with Tom Tillis, who's now a U.S. Senator, who was Speaker of the North Carolina House. No longer is. Once Tom Tillis left, he lost all his power and became essentially irrelevant. He was a kid in the corner stomping his feet. Hey, Justin, hope you're doing well. But generally, that's the way it works. It's a very selfish thing, and I don't know how it works on the Democratic side, but I think on the local side, there's generally a small lobby. So in Stanley, Montgomery County, Union County, you have an immense amount of prisons. That's a whole nother bag of tricks to open up that big one, but immense amount of prisons and over policing in very small communities.
Right.
So the law enforcement and the bail bonds lobby are huge in Stanley and Montgomery County. And the Burrs just happen to own a bail bonds company in Stanley,
Bonds.
Montgomery, and Union County.
But look, real
so
quick,
they
though.
were very influential in that. But the point I'm getting at is those party meetings revolved around a special interest group, the bail bonds group, the law enforcement group, which controlled a politician who had built a structure around that. If you were in Chicago, it would be different. If you were in New York, it would be different. If you're in an oil town, it would be different. Honestly, if you want to see how nasty politics is, I would tell anybody, become involved in your local party, whether Republican or Democrat.
Mm-hmm.
Start going to those meetings and you'll see just how nasty politics. That's why I'm not involved in politics.
And that's what and you don't have to answer this. You don't have to go into detail with this. But I've heard that it was some scary things that was going on as far as like racist type things going on in the meetings or said in the meetings. But you don't have to go in detail. Just say yes or no.
I've heard,
and we'll let it go.
I've heard comments that I was deeply and sincerely disturbed by and sentiments that were shared. Generally, it wasn't overtly, it wasn't like there were racial jokes I ever heard, but definitely sentiments that definitely would lead one to believe that a person's way of thinking was of that on that line.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
I would totally.
That's all you got to say.
I would totally say yes. Now, with the Republican Party, I will say this, and we'll get all politics out of this one.
Yeah.
But I've always said this as far as Republican goes. There's a young group of Republicans in this world, and libertarians especially. And I just use this as an example. We want to go to Mars. We want to reach the horizons. We want the party of Lincoln.
Mm-hmm.
There's another group of Republicans out there that are clinging to what happened in the 60s and 70s and the Dixiecrats when that big political shift happened.
Oh, yeah.
And guys that happen to be Democrats turned into Republicans just because they were mad at the Democrats because LBJ happened to set black delegates at the the party convention that year. There's a party of there's a section of the Republican Party that's getting old and will soon go on to bigger and better things. Otherworldly things that wants to go back to Mayberry.
That was very political how you just stated that.
Yeah, but they want to go back to Mayberry. Yeah. And by Mayberry, I mean Mount Airy. And if you ever been to Mount Airy, I'm just going to throw it out. There's a lot of diversity.
Mount Airy, North Carolina.
There's a lot of diversity in Mount Airy. What you see on the Andy Griffith Show is not even close to an accurate description of Mayberry or what Mayberry ever was. But they want to go back to Mayberry. And there is a group in that Republican Party and that Libertarian Party, good friends of mine, many of them that want to go to Mars. Yeah. So obviously they want to go to Mars. They want to go to Mayberry. I got tired of it. I had to get out of that mix because I was tired of fighting.
That sounds really weird, though. You know what I'm saying? Mars and Mayberry. That shit is crazy.
You got a group that wants to change the world and that's looking literally to the stars. Like I'm telling you, these kids are looking to the stars. They're wondering why we ain't putting more money in NASA. Meanwhile, we're dumping billions into prisons.
Right.
That's literally a crazy concept, but that's the conundrum the Republican Party's in right now. And I think they face that moving forward into the future as far as they're not going to have voters in 15 years. Yeah, nobody's going to support their ideals and their views. You're going to have a dead party if you guys don't wake up really, really fast and in a hurry. The kind of stuff Donald Trump and then that's the other thing that scares me is how many of these people just jumped on that train for I thought there would be way more pushback, way more disagreement.
No, I didn't think that because I'm going to explain to you. He's the voice for the heartless. He's a voice for the fearless, for the fearful people that's scared to speak their own mind. So he came into the picture and he's the voice for them. But, that's what it is. That's how it is. And it's been like that. My grandparents and stuff grew up with it. And now we're going through it again. But it's, what I'm saying, that's politics. We're going to get off that politics stuff. You know what I'm saying? But, because I know me and you could talk about that all day long.
All day.
But, yeah, but we're going to change up subjects on that one, though, because this man wanted to be the president one day. And he may be the president one day.
FTB Records.
Yeah, I'm just saying. You never know. We never know. The way things going now, you never know what can happen in this world right here.
Amen.
So, but you mentioned Tupac earlier.
Ain't no laws when you're on the clause. We're just gonna throw that in there.
They better pay us too.
Yeah, right.
But look, you was talking about Tupac earlier, man, and that got me to thinking about how influential Tupac was. And how he's deceased and he's still relevant in the music industry right now. That's powerful. Now, I'm going to explain somebody else to you that's relevant like that in the different genre of music.
Okay.
Prince.
Oh, for sure.
And see, the reason why I put those two together is because Tupac and Prince both are deceased right now, but they both are releasing albums. You understand what I'm saying?
It's making more money than a lot of these cats are right now.
Exactly. And so that right there shows they actually changed the industry, their genre of music in the industry.
Oh, they changed the world.
Because of the work ethics they had and the vision and the dreams that they had. And they fought real hard to get that,
Look, I'm going to go this far, and I may catch flack for this one day if I ever do run for president.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I can say one, but the culminated efforts of Tupac Shakur, Biggie Smalls, and Nas equal the level of a prophet.
Jay-Z as well.
Jay-Z, we can throw him in there, probably as kind of like the backup that came in later on after they set the foundation. No, he did great, but I'm saying,
but go ahead and say what you're saying. We'll talk about
did. Jay-Z, I love Jay-Z. I'm just waiting on outside of New York the profound music, because with Jay-Z, with Nas and Biggie and Pac, yes, they did make some songs that maybe were demonstrative toward women that weren't the most respectful things. Honestly, and with Tupac, I Get Around is probably the worst one you could throw out there, which really
that was in his beginning of his career.
And even in the modern era, it's not even close. I've heard women these days making songs that are more derogatory towards women than that. Honestly. Biggie, what you got? Juicy? Maybe? Is that what we're going to throw out there? Nas really's never been into that, talking about women, but the prophetic nature. When you talk about One Mic, when you talk about Brenda's Got a Baby, when you talk about Dear Mom, these are songs that were...
See, you're leaving Jay-Z out, though, because, Jay-Z got... Me and Illy talk about this one day on the podcast with Slick. Slick was here.
Okay.
And, me and Slick, we're Biggie fans. I'm a huge Jay-Z fan.
You're not a big fan of Tupac? Never been.
No, I'm not a big fan. I did used to be a big fan of Tupac when he made Brenda's Got a Baby. But I changed up after he made the movie, what was it? Juice. And after the movie Juice, I felt like he turned into the real character of Bishop, which I felt like he shouldn't have done. But he did it. And he once said in an interview that good media is good for it, promotion. Good media or bad media. You know what I'm saying? So he went out there, he did it all. But he also spoke truth. He spoke words that touch people, and they are still touching people.
Oh, yeah.
And that's what I like about him. He influences a lot of people, whether it's good or bad, because he's the only artist I know that can jump back from gangster rap to going to...
Here was the thing I was saying about when I say Biggie, Nas, and Pac. And it's no disrespect Jay-Z. Jay-Z grew up in that second generation of rap underneath. Even though he was kind of in the mix, but
Nas grew up under the second generation.
But he was one of those youngins, but to this day, there are bars that guys spit and they really don't even know it, that were Nas, Tupac, and Biggie bars. Literally, there are foundations in rap that people don't even understand, that so many rappers have recycled those bars and used those rhyme schemes. And my only issue with Hov would be nothing but love for Hov. Amazing businessman, amazing.
You gotta look at the lyrics, man. You gotta look at his lyrics, man.
But to a degree, he did. There were times he took a lot from Biggie.
They was homeboys.
And I get it, but and
it was out of respect. He was just showing respect to him. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm just bigging my man. I remember the song.
Yeah.
But I was always a big Nas fan, so Ether will always be one of my top 5. Ether's always there in my top 5.
Ether's a nice song.
Ether's probably one of the best rap songs I ever wrote. As far as a diss track,
disagree with that.
A diss track goes, you'd probably be hard pressed to find a more comprehensive, effective diss track that literally took a beef that was going to turn into something for months or years and ended.
That's Tupac's song.
Ether?
No. Tupac is the song that he made the beef song that actually changed everybody.
Hit him up changed everything.
Hit him up. Yeah.
But I'm telling you, Ether was the first time and maybe the only time I've ever seen. Drake's the only one that's ever kind of did, but the rapper he was dealing with wasn't even on the par of what
we're not
going
gonna put
on.
Drake in this.
Yeah, but Ether literally, Nas heard Jay-Z and Rockefeller was coming after him. He drops a track and everything dies before it even started. Like he literally killed a beef before a beef started.
Let me speak on that right there, though. Let me speak on that.
He's so
Nas was invited to battle Jay-Z face to face on pay-per-view. $1 million to the winner. Who won the money would have to donate it to charity, of course. Jay-Z invited him to this battle. He turned it down because he cannot deal with Jay-Z on that level. He has to go write and I know this, he has to go write his music down, think about it, critique it, and get it together. He can't deal with Jay-Z. Now, this is another topic right here. This is a Nas versus Jay-Z, which Nas can't deal with Jay-Z, dog.
Oh, man, you don't
He
stop.
can't deal
We're in
with him,
Montgomery
though.
County. This is sacrilege.
No,
You need to
he
stop.
can't. No,
You
can't
need to
deal with
stop.
Jay-Z, dog.
Oh, man.
For real. And Nas, you
Yeah,
know,
'cause
Nas
if
used to
it's-
live around here. He used to do his thing around here.
Jay-Z gonna spit everybody else's bars.
No, that's a lie.
Oh.
That's a lie right there now. Yo, you
Swag
disrespecting
Jacker?
now.
Can we play
No,
Swag
you
Jacker at the end of the
disrespecting
Can we play
now.
Swag Jacker at the end of the video?
Let me explain something to you, dog.
He done
Jay-Z ain't
Oh
steal
my God,
anything. What is steal?
He has stole Snoop Dogg bars. He has stole Tupac bars.
Biggie did too.
Biggie Small bars. He has stole Nas bars. He has stole Mobb Deep bars.
He took this is when he was beefing with Nas. He took Nas' little line, verse, and made it into a song.
Dude, he doesn't spit as much Biggie as Biggie.
Okay,
Like,
and then, but Biggie was his
he doesn't spit
homeboy
as much
though.
Biggie as Biggie. Biggie didn't.
Biggie was his homeboy.
Is there a contract somewhere? Where Biggie
No, Biggie
said,
was his
"Spit my
homeboy, though.
rhyme"?
Biggie was his homeboy. Like, say if you passed away right now, I would spit your
No,
shit.
play my tracks.
Even Gears
Play
tracks.
my tracks.
I would spit his
Play
shit.
my tracks. I'm
I'm not going to take.
repackage.
He didn't take your whole thing.
Wait,
he just said a word or two. You know what I'm
come
saying?
on, man. No, there was whole hooks. There was whole hooks that Biggie stole. I mean, that Jay-Z stole from Biggie.
He didn't steal them. He just used them. Biggie himself said that Jay-Z is the only artist that he really can't deal with like that when they together writing in the studio for a song. He was like, yo, I got to come to get my shit together because I sit there and write. And this is his words.
All right, as a white rapper, I'm going to take my chance here then.
What you mean?
Who is the only man to ever roast Jay-Z on his own track to a degree to where nobody had any doubt about
Eminem.
the greatest writer.
Eminem is one of the greatest rappers
it
it is. He's one of the best rappers. He may be the best.
I think I heard a story Kendrick Lamar said, I think it was Kendrick. Kendrick said he finally got his chance to record with Eminem and listen to the beat. They like it. They're vibing. Eminem kicks everybody out the room. Kendrick and them. They both got 2 pieces of paper and 2 pens. Kendrick said, I knew what was happening. He was testing me.
Oh, yeah.
He wanted to make sure
Eminem's a beast.
I was writing Kendrick said, I knew what was going on. He wanted to make sure I was writing my rhymes, that I didn't have a team of dudes helping me out doing this. Like,
and I respect that.
I would say Eminem as far as and as a white rapper, first podcast I've done with you, I want to there will never ever because in the late 90s the kind of respect that rappers got was Vanilla Ice. It was, and that's even Vanilla Ice was a trendsetter as far as pop rap.
He was a trendsetter. But
to make the kind of rap, and it doesn't even exist anymore, the kind of rap we're talking about, not on a major level, rap that is respected by rappers and serious people like me and you talking right now. Eminem is the only. I mean, he broke down that barrier to a degree that
he broke all kind of barriers.
You can't even. It's hard to encapsulate. Like, white rappers were literally a joke. They were a joke. You were a gimmick. You might make 1 or 2 songs that were real funny and cute. They were poppy.
Okay, well, who do you think right now in this day and time could be the next Eminem or the next Biggie or Tupac or Jay-Z right now? Besides Kendrick Lamar. Take that out.
J. Cole. I got a lot of love for J. Cole. I think J. Cole puts a tremendous amount of work into every song he makes.
And he does.
Think he puts amount of effort into his rap that outside of Kendrick, I'm gonna throw as far as another rapper, Macklemore. I think Macklemore doesn't get the credit that he deserves right now.
I haven't listened to
Macklemore. Some of his stuff's just been so profound. The song Kevin about his friend who died from an opioid overdose. The song he made to commemorate his great grandmother, Glorious, turned it into a top 10
I'm
hit.
gonna have to check those out.
Yeah, like Macklemore makes profound music.
What about
outside?
What do you think about the baby right now?
The baby's good. Honestly, I'm gonna be 110% real. 10 years ago, he had a hard time. I think right now he's one of the few dudes that's actually trying to make some solid music.
Because I think he got more in him than what he's giving to the people right now.
We were talking about this earlier. This hustler versus customer, and I know that sounds dirty when you say it on the surface, but when you say hustler, I don't mean drug dealer. I mean a guy out there getting it. Customer is the kind of dude getting sold and being controlled, and that's a follower. When you listen to a lot of these rappers, people want to listen to these days, they're customers.
Okay.
And I'm not afraid to say that. That's kind of what indictment's been about. It's an indictment of the situation in the rap game, the mixtape I've been working on for far too long, but it's gonna be done soon. Is this idea of let's follow the trend, let's follow somebody else, and like they're talking about like using drugs and doing things like that, and I don't think glorification of drugs should be a big part of music. It's not something I make a big deal of it. And I respect the baby. He doesn't do that a lot either. But not a huge deal. But I think he's a grinder. He's a hustler. Like when you listen to him, he's a leader. Like when you hear the kind of music he's making, he's not the kind of dude out here just riding a trend. Like he's actually different than all these rappers. And then a big thing I got to give him is I respect when he did that cypher.
Right, yeah, he killed the cypher.
Oh man, all them other dudes weren't even on his par.
Him and the girl, I can't remember.
And that's bad because the girl wasn't. No offense to her, she wasn't even really that great.
But she killed better than the other guys.
Him and her were crazy. And then like when I think about it, no offense to the baby. 10 years ago, they wouldn't even have been in the class. That's no disrespect to them. 10 years ago, when Jeezy was on there,
it was a different game back then.
It meant, man, just the way that people spit bars was on a whole different level. But the only one. In my opinion, I'm proudest of North Carolina. Actually, the two North Carolina. The only dude I think can people with Pac is J. Cole, and the only young gun out there really putting it down is
the baby. Now listen, let me ask you this. Let me put you on the spot. Real quick. We're gonna talk about independent artists.
Okay.
Locally. Okay. In North Carolina.
All right. Yeah.
And you just throw out one word to describe them when I call them out.
Okay.
BTR. One word.
Fantastic.
BA from Moco.
Driven.
Let me see who else. Witty.
Creative.
Juice 9 Dime.
Talented.
Let me think. Who's some North Carolina artists you know Italy out right now that's trying to get it? Call them out. I can't think of any right now, but what about
well, we can talk about what's the baby's boy? His homeboy.
Yeah, I'm kind of
Stunner for Vega.
I'm about
Stunner for Vega.
I'm iffy with him.
Swaggy, I would say Swaggy be my word. A lot of swag.
He definitely swag.
A lot of swag. Got a lot of swag, a lot of confidence.
And where is he coming out of?
What
part of North Carolina?
I'm not sure where Stunner's for.
It's Mooresville.
I know he's a North Carolina boy. I'm not sure where he's from.
It's some little small town. I think it's Mooresville.
But we still got North Carolina rappers. We got Spider God and Nazi.
Put me up on him.
Worker. We just call him
What about Lil Bree?
Oh man, Lil Bree.
Yeah.
Can I do two words?
Yeah.
Bad bitch. Excuse my language. That's a bad bitch. Yeah. No, not for real. Because
Salisbury.
What a lot of these girls are trying to personify as a young lady, I can tell you that is Bree. And crazy thing here at my day job, met her. Her and her group of people that she was with and her party she was with was kind of feeling uncomfortable. I made sure to go out of my way, make sure they felt comfortable. It didn't take her 30 seconds. She was like, "You cool, boy. You kill it." And I was like, "Yo, we're gonna do a track." I was like, "You kill it too, babe." And she was like, "I know." Long story short, the group she was with was getting a little too litty, having a little bit too much fun. Respect her dignity and her intelligence to be like, that's not the situation I want to be in.
Yeah.
Got up out of there.
See, I like little
smart young lady, very smart young lady,
and beautiful,
and beautiful. Oh man, exceptionally beautiful. But she is a bad bitch in the best sense of the word. But I mean that she's a boss.
And see, that's what I wanted to talk about her too. Like I feel like Lil Bree, she sings better than she raps, but she can rap her ass off.
Oh yeah,
and I would like to see her take another direction in her career instead of the way that she's going, because like I feel like she's playing into what's going on right now in society when she should be a trendsetter and create something different like a Lauryn Hill.
I feel.
Because that's how I look at her. That's why I fell in love with her, because she reminded me of Lauryn Hill and she reminded me of Roxanne Shante. And I know y'all too young. Y'all probably
I know Roxanne Shante.
Y'all know Roxanne Shante.
I was just born yesterday.
I know, man.
He older than I am. We just talking about it. He's 35.
Yeah, he's 35. He ain't 35. He's 43. But anyway.
50.
But yeah, man, it's a lot of talented artists coming out of North Carolina, man. And
Shout out to him.
yeah, shout out to everybody out there in North Carolina trying to get it, man.
Well, and it's not
come
even
together, man. Like, unite. Get with some people, network, make your circle bigger.
Bro, that beef shit is such...
It's crazy.
Look, man, I'm going to be honest with you. I'm going to sound cocky when I say this. I done been dealing with beef shit my entire career. I came up, had no choice but beef. Cato will tell you that. Like, I grew up battling cats at the Quad, which is like the park area at the high school I went to. And I was blessed, honestly. Some of my boys, man, keep your head up. Chuck, keep your head up.
Yeah, Chuck Money. I forgot to yell out
Keep
Chuck
your head
Money.
up,
Yeah.
DH. These are dudes I cut my teeth with. This is back in the days when I was first coming up. Me, DH, Chuck. Lacey LeGrand Shooter, great producer, makes some wonderful beats out there. Trig used to do rap. Trey kind of not as much into it anymore like he used to. You got Red. A lot of these dudes, man, I grew up battling. Like, that's what we did. Like, at that time, you gotta think this was like Cassidy was hot. Like, it was like, I put 10 in your AV and pretend you paved me, stuff your body in a dumpster like Brenda's baby. Like, this was back in the heyday of battle rap when, that's how I cut my teeth. But I'm gonna tell you what, man, that stuff is so anti-productive. It is so counterproductive, excuse me. Slows things down. Like, if we work together, if we build each other up. On that subject, I'm going to throw my boy BTR out there. I'm going to tell you what, out of any artist I have never met, a more humble, a more selfless artist than probably BTR. Right. That young man, and I'm proud to call him my protege. Hopefully he doesn't take anything from that. I know he's had a lot of love and respect for me as an artist for a long time.
He's learned a lot from me.
I think he looks at me like a mentor, and I look at him like a protege and a brother now, an equal. But just to put the ego aside, and that was something I had a lot of problems with at his age and younger, was dealing with that, man. And he is just, the dude has so much passion, and he has it figured out to where if we don't waste time on arguing with each other and fighting each other and beefing with each other, and
man, we could go a lot further, and that's why I always try to explain to people, like, stop the beef shit. It's no reason to be beefing about things because you got the same thing that we got.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. So let's come together and try to get something bigger as a unit. You know, and I stress that all the time on the podcast. And we're going to definitely do that because I'm going to reach out to more artists from North Carolina in different genres and everything. But we're definitely going to bring new artists on here. We're going to showcase them, and we're going to let the world see North Carolina.
We forgot My Lloyd. My Lloyd's in North Carolina these days.
Lloyd.
The trap My Lloyd, very talented young man. Yeah. Very, very,
He has a huge following in Florida and Atlanta and North Carolina.
Amazingly talented young man. I wish him nothing but the best.
My Lloyd 47 on YouTube.
My Lloyd 47 on YouTube. Great kid. Young too. He's like 19, I think, something like that.
Might not even be that old.
I don't even think he's that old.
18.
He might be 18.
Yeah.
Extremely talented kid. Works really hard. Great manager. Have no doubt he's going to do amazing things in his career.
And while we're talking about independent artists or artists trying to make it out in North Carolina, I'm going to say RIP to Kiki. You know, he was out here trying to get his thing going on too before his life was taken. And while we're saying RIP, let's say RIP to, we lost 4 lives in one day in Montgomery County this week. And we want to say RIP to them. And, you know, our condolences go to the family. And I knew all of those guys, man, and it really touched me to see or to hear the bad news, man. When I heard it, I was just praying and sending out all types of positive energy that what I heard was not true, but it was true. And it's a coincidence that 2 of these guys that passed away were friends with each other, but they didn't pass away with each other. They was in different towns, and they both died on the same day.
It goes to something else. Big shout to my generation in Montgomery County, man. The amount of loss in the last year and a half.
It's crazy
that this young generation, I would say between like 22 and 32, has dealt with in the last 2 years. It has been devastating. I mean, we're talking about. I'm not even getting the details of how, but I mean, dozens upon dozens of people that were far too young to die that are gone. And Twin, man. Yeah, Twin, I'm going to tell you what.
That really touched me with Twin,
I'm going to talk on E-Man and Twin because
E-Man
and Twin were two that I knew. I didn't know the other two cats very well. Nothing but condolences, respect to the family. And Pee-wee. So much respect to Pee-wee and Jose's family. I imagine they were beautiful young men. I wish I'd known them better, but I did know E-Man and Twin. Yeah. And I will say on those two cats, I have known very few people in my life that did everything in their power to make other people happy all the time.
Especially
even at their own expense, man. Like Twin and E-Man, man. If they had to pick on themselves to make you have a good day, like always smiling, always joking.
And Twin made them nice beats too.
Yeah, and there's no matter what. Yeah, Twin was a heck of a producer.
And I got a lot of
big shots to Lacey LeGrand. That with him and Twin was real tight. As far as making that music stuff. Man, just those two guys, I knew them personally, were the kind of dudes lit up a room. I mean, and when I mean, I'm not saying that just because of the situation. I'm saying those guys lit up a room in a way that's hard to explain. And just to the Bradley family, I know the whole Bradley family just
because Twin.
I can't never encapsulate the kind of pain that y'all are feeling or take it away. But all I can say is I hope you know, as far as those four young gentlemen goes, there's going to be a lot less smiles in Montgomery County for years to come, more years than we can count, because those guys ain't here. Those guys were the kind of men that make you smile. And just reflecting on it, not take anything from anybody else's Mookie. That was another one, man. The anniversary of his death passed away not too long ago, man. Yeah.
Well, look, listen, RIP to everybody.
Another guy, though, just another guy, man. Why does it seem like that happens sometimes? These people that go out of their way to make everybody happy.
I know, man. But that's how it is, man. You know what I'm saying? We just got to live with life and deal with it, and accordingly the way it comes to you. So RIP and respect to the family and condolences to the family.
Yeah.
But we're going to close it out. Any last words you want to give to the people real quick? Like anything?
Look, man.
First of all, how can they get in touch with you on social media?
You got
on social media.
Kul Ray, KUL space THE space RAY on YouTube. You got the Kul Ray music fan page on Facebook. I try to keep it low key, man. Ain't trying to get too crazy. You got theindustry.com. You got
also on the firstofbusiness.com website. You have the Kul Ray under the artist section.
Oh yeah, and I got my original
all the links
from forever ago.
Yeah, everything you've ever done is on there.
And then I think Misfit Nation, BTR has put some stuff out of mine. So there's a few avenues out there. I would say the YouTube channel is the big one. Mm-hmm. And then I just want to tell everybody we appreciate y'all, man. And I will say support your local artists. Me coming up as a young guy, a lot of people tend to I've heard these jokes, the hometown rapper. Look, man, a lot of these hometown rappers are better than the dudes you're playing right around in your car and your truck.
You need to support them.
Like show some love, just and cut the bias off. Just because somebody else or some famous person didn't tell you to listen to somebody doesn't mean they're not good. They're in this area especially. There's so much talent. People take it for granted. We talked earlier about how many states I've lived in. Everywhere I've lived, man, I'm telling you what, per capita, I have never met more talented artists than here in this part of North Carolina. I mean, it's insane. There are guys like John Dennis, JD, can sing his backside off. Yeah. He's more worried about being dad, taking care of his kids, stepped away from the music. Giz, probably the best rapper I've ever known in my life. Academics, another one.
Academics too.
You got King Ratliff. You've got Shred. It's amazing that these guys haven't got their break. Right. I mean, I've met so much talent that's far and beyond what you hear on a daily basis. Just show some love to these guys. Maybe it's, I'm not giving up, but maybe it's too late for me. Maybe it's too late for some of us other guys to get that chance. But I'm telling you what, there's young guns out here that are grinding, that want to do it. And I'm telling you, they got what it takes. show them some love.
But look, dog, I'm gonna tell you this. It's never too late. You still cool, the great. It's first the business, so you're never too late.
And I'm not 35 like
and
Italy.
You're not 35 or 43 like Italy.
Or 70 like
Cato.
Cato.
Still got it popping, dog. You know what I'm saying? And we gonna get this thing popping, yo. I want to thank everybody for tuning in, though. And I do want to stress to everybody, yo, please like, share, and subscribe to First the Business Podcast on YouTube. It's actually on every social media platform. Is what is it? First the Biz. FIRSTTHEBIZ. First the Biz on every social media platform. So follow us on there, share it with your friends, talk about it, give us more suggestions, comment on the videos. We love you. It's First the Business.
Start the business.
Cool. Let's get it. Peace.
JD on the track.
Cool. Yeah. First the business.
I want a bag, bitch.
You already. Can't clock out, I ain't stopping, I'm grinding every day. Ops try to block me, they best get out my way. Yeah, I got a monopoly, but this is not a game. Don't study archaeology, but I'll dig you engrave. You think I know psychology, cause my flow is insane. I'm from a different quality, the cloth is not the same. I'm done with all the modesty, just put them all to shame. And don't call me a prodigy, I'm already the main. They know that I'm the truth, we ain't even gotta verify. I hit ducking D's, got them thinking I was camera shy. Swear they tryna chop me like I'm lithium or alkaline. If they do, I'll be cool, cause your bitch can be my alibi. Said I oblige when she hit me with the proposition. Trying to comprehend how you conclude we competition. Tricky into falling off, yeah, I'm condescending. Stop pretending, cause your fairy tales are never ending. I'm recommending that you cease with all the fraudulence. Looking down at them as I'm flowing, call it tolerance. They moan and groan about the free pass, that's a compliment. Swear I'm about to sun all these rappers, screw the politics. Can't clock out, I ain't stopping, I'm grinding every day. Ops try to block me, they best get out my way. Yeah, I got a monopoly, but this is not a game. Don't study archaeology, but I'll dig you engrave. You think I know psychology, cause my flow is insane. I'm from a different quality, the cloth is not the same. I'm done with all the modesty, just put them all to shame. And don't call me a prodigy, I'm already the main. I be showing out every time that I go. We ain't taking pictures, but they bout to get exposed. And I ain't no model, but I do mean to impose. Trying to encapsulate your casket, could get closed. Think I was a basket case, the way these words get wove. You ain't never had a case, you got caught and you spoke. Why you blowing smoke, you ain't stunting, that's a ball cap. Moving forward, homie, you should probably fall back. With these verses, I'm Sub-Zero, Mortal Kombat. Still turning up the heat, the track is a thermostat. Flip the script like an actor / acrobats. Fans fiending for what I'm making, call that an habitat. Clock out, I ain't stopping, I'm grinding every day. Ops try to block me, they best get out my way. Yeah, I got a monopoly, but this is not a game. Don't study archaeology, but I'll dig you engrave. You think I know psychology, cause my flow is insane. I'm from a different quality, the cloth is not the same. I'm done with all the modesty, just put them all to shame. And don't call me a prodigy, I'm already